Hey, I'm learning Vietnamese. So I need help with learning Vietnamese because I'm terrible. My name is Marcel, or you can call me Mark, I guess. And I'm in Vietnam at the moment. So my wife is Vietnamese, and I've been trying to learn Vietnamese for maybe like 6 months or so. Maybe not 6 months, like 4 months, probably, yeah, about that. I've heard a few like Vietnamese words here and there for the last like year or so, but I didn't start properly trying to learn until, yeah, about 4 months ago. So I'm slowly getting there, but I struggle the most with pronunciation. I can kind of read some words now and understand, but when it comes to actually pronouncing the words, even though I can read the letters, I could say something that sounds correct to me, but it doesn't sound good to a native speaker. And many times my wife doesn't understand what I'm saying. So I need to practice a lot more, and I need help from people. And also I need to have maybe a way to keep myself um, actually learning. I need to be responsible, because at the moment I feel like I put it off. I put off the study now and then when I can. I'll do a little bit of study, and then I think, yeah, I'll really do this well, and then I kind of forget a few days later, and I stop learning so much. So I need people to keep me accountable for actually studying Vietnamese and getting better. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And also, along with this, I'm actually an English teacher. So what I want to do with learning Vietnamese is give people another resource, I guess, to help them learn Vietnamese as well. So while I'm learning Vietnamese, I can also help others to learn Vietnamese too. Because what I've found with teaching English is that a native speaking English teacher has a very different perception of English compared to someone who has had to learn English as their second language. So for me, as an English speaker, like a native English speaker, I don't actually know a lot of things about the language, because many things I just take for granted. I don't even think about. Whereas someone who has had to learn the language, they know that there is this random little thing here, or there's this thing that connects to this thing over here. And so they are actually able to help people to learn English more effectively, potentially. Um, Maybe not so much with pronunciation, but with grammar and with spelling and with many of those kinds of parts of learning the language. They can help people to learn a lot more effectively, I find. Whereas a native English speaker may not actually know quite a lot about their own language, because we don't really need to think about it that much. It's only when we become English teachers that we start thinking about our language. So if I'm learning Vietnamese, then I will probably come across a lot of things that don't make sense to me, and I'll be able to highlight them and talk about them and ask for help. And whereas if a native Vietnamese speaker teaches, it may be more that they don't even realize that there are some things that don't make sense to us, who are learning Vietnamese. So what I would like to do is learn Vietnamese myself, provide this resource for people who are also learning Vietnamese. They can come and join me. I can maybe chat to people who are learning Vietnamese. We can complain about the language if we want to. We can talk about what's good about the language, what's difficult about the language. And also I can help people to learn Vietnamese as well. If there are people who are at an earlier stage in learning than me, at a lower level than me. But for me, I'm pretty much like A1 level at the moment. So maybe in like a year or so, I might be B1, maybe B2, I don't know. But I would say I'm probably going to be at the most B1 by next year. Well, in a year's time. So at that point, maybe I can help people who are just starting to learn Vietnamese. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I really just want to create this YouTube channel to talk about studying Vietnamese and getting support for myself, and then helping other people to get support who are also studying Vietnamese as well. And yeah, I also have, like I said, my wife is Vietnamese, so I can get her expert opinion as well. And she might be able to come on the channel too if she wants to. But I'm not sure. I haven't asked her yet. I have other, like, my parents-in-law and my uncles and cousins and aunties-in-law and all this family-in-law who are Vietnamese as well. So I have a lot of people who can help me with pronunciation guides and figuring out how the grammar works. So I think I'm in a good place to help and to figure out how to teach Vietnamese while I'm also learning Vietnamese. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll be a failure, but come along for the journey and we'll see. So yeah, thanks everyone. Yeah, you're welcome to join me on this journey. We'll see what happens.